Tonight, Factfinder investigates trains blocking city streets, at times for hours. Many of you reached out to us about 2 trains along 21st last week that left people stuck between them for hours with no way out. So is there a plan to fix it? Factfinder investigator Brandon Stitt looked into it and spoke with city leaders about a plan.
This is how it starts.
We'll have one train that comes through here on 21st and Broadway, and then we have another train that comes in off of 21st and Mosley.
If you frequent this area, you'll more than likely find a train like this.
It happens on a daily basis where we get stuck, can't get out, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20.
Wednesday, 2 trains left people stuck for hours. Some even calling 911.
There are 2 trains that have got 21st blocked off.
I'm stuck between Broadway and Mosley.
There's no way to get in or out of the area.
It's becoming very normal, and it's very annoying.
People trying to get to work, so it's making them late, and we can't. It ain't like if people in a car can jump over.
It's pretty aggravating. I have to be at work, and it's literally on the other side of the train track, so it's kind of frustrating.
It's frustration that I've witnessed firsthand as this train at 21st and Mosley has been stationary for 2 hours. People turning around in the street, others on foot crawling over or under the train. It's something Councilmember Maggie Ballard is all too familiar with.
The trains is probably in the top 3 issues/complaints that I hear within the district. It is a giant problem.
A giant problem that the city of Wichita plans to study with funds awarded through a Connecting Communities grant.
It's a $1 million grant to study the 21st and Broadway corridor, which will include, traffic, trains, roads, everything in the area, because the connectability right here is awful.
And the city hopes the railroad companies are at the table to help find a solution.
More than anything, I wish there was better communication and collaboration between the railroad and the city, the county, the state, really everybody across the board.
And for those that keep getting stuck,
something is better than this. This is not okay.
For Factfinder Investigates, I'm Brandon Stitt.
A company has not yet been selected to that corridor study, but Public Works hopes to have one in place by this spring. Factfinder is sitting down with the Better Business Bureau to talk about scams that are happening in our areas so that you don't fall for it. And we're talking with Josh Planos with the BBB today. And Josh, they're everywhere. So these Stanley Cups, you can't escape them. It seems like every video that you see on social media is something about a Stanley Cup going viral today. But that also means that scammers are looking to steal people's money, potentially get them in some fraud-like activity. So what do people need to keep an eye out for if they're wanting to buy a Stanley Cup online or in person?
What a world that we live in, where you can't buy a mug or a tumbler without getting scammed. But that is precisely the scenario that we're in right now, because it is such a hot commodity. This is an item that sells out very rapidly. It gets folks to the store at midnight for, releases and drops. It's really a marketing success story on a number of levels, but there are a few red flags to be on the lookout for, which will help you avoid the vast majority of what has been reported to us, and there has been a lot that has been reported to us in just 2024 regarding Stanley Cups. So the first tip we have is to only make those purchases through sellers that you know and trust. It can be very enticing to see a discounted Stanley from a vendor that you've never heard of before. However, there might be a reason why you haven't heard of them before. And so you want to do a little bit of research on that company in question. Only ensure that you're buying products from reputable businesses. Look them up on bbb.org. You can see how long they've been in business, whether they have contact information, whether they respond to customer complaints. All of this you would want to know before you enter into any sort of business arrangement with a company, regardless of what that price is.
And then, Josh, some of our folks, they might see ads for them on Facebook, Instagram, any social media site, and it might look really real to them, but sometimes they can be scams.
Without a doubt, you should definitely tread carefully with the ads that you see on social media. A lot of reputable businesses do run social media ads, but so do scammers, right? They know that folks are online. They know that this is the marketplace where they can reach a huge pool of victims. So one thing you can do, right, is to ensure that that business's social media feed and website are speaking to one another. So if you see an ad for, say, Walmart or a reputable dealer, go to that site in question rather than clicking on that link to see whether or not that discount actually exists. Read reviews about the company on third-party websites to ensure, again, that you're working with a real business, with real customers, with quality products, and with good customer service, and you're not just looking at an ad that is being used as a carrot to get you to provide personal and payment information, which is, of course, what all scammers are after.
And Josh, if anyone thinks that they might have been scammed here within an ad for a Stanley mug or anything like that, what do they immediately need to do?
Without a doubt, the best thing you can do is report your experience. Go to bbb.org/scam tracker. Let us know that you experienced something. Also report it to Stanley, the company in question. They want to know that someone out there is imitating their product or their line. So all of these sites have dedicated customer service lines for exactly this reason. Please let them know that someone out there is impersonating them. You want to also collect the receipts and some of that documentation to ensure that, when we write up an investigation about someone who is impersonating this company, we have all of the information necessary to protect consumers from falling victim to these types of scams.
All right, Josh Planos with the BBB. Good information there. Thank you.
Thank you.
We had followed all the best advice, and yet we were sitting here in the hospital.
I wouldn't trust any non-toxic labeling on water beads. There's companies marking that on products.
A government official says he wouldn't trust non-toxic labeling on a popular toy. We explain why packaging isn't always regulated. Next on Factfinder Investigates.